Wolverine is a berserker when he doesn't have his own memories. So what would happen if someone were to take his memories and then basically use them as a weapon? Today we're going to be continuing the storyline of Wolverine, which is a story that I have covered here on the channel already. We've done issues 1 through 25. Today is going to be 26 to 30 as we discover the concept of using Wolverine as a weapon pointed at various missions. In order to understand what's going on, Wolverine and the rest of the mutants are on an island known as Krakoa, which is a sentient island, which is basically an island that is a mutant. The mutants are over there and have the ability to revive themselves from the dead. Wolverine himself is working for the X-Force organization, which is run by Beast and Sage. They basically give the missions over to X-Force, and X-Force has Domino, Deadpool, Wolverine, and a few others on it. That's pretty much all you really need to know to be able to watch today's episode and see where we're going with this. Oh, and he also has a friend, a human who's in the CIA named Jeff Bannister. He plays an important role as well. This is Comicstorian. I take comic books and turn them into audio drama so that you know what to go to your local comic book store and add to your collection. And today is Wolverine 26 to 30. Let's get into it. Jeff Bannister, former CIA field agent, sits in his backyard on a lawn chair next to Wolverine. Beers in hand, the two men talk about the quiet life, while Jeff raises the hose and douses his young daughter as she plays in the pool. Bet you don't even know what you're talking about, being a big fancy superhero. Jeff laughs as he takes another sip, and Wolverine shakes his head. You got it wrong. Logger, trapper, miner, ranch hand, deckhand. Spent a lot of my life hustling a way to pay the next round or get the next motel room. Logan says, admitting that he misses those days sometimes. But their talk is interrupted as Logan gets an emergency call from Beast. He stands looking at his friend. Gotta go. Logan grunts and Jeff smiles, leaning back in his chair. Save the world for me, would ya? But before he can leave, Logan walks over to Maddie and pulls out Wade Wilson's finger. Don't worry, he's fine. He grew back another. He tells her as he hands over the finger, explaining that it's her key to get to Krakoa and play with their new friends. With that, Logan departs through the gate that he gave Jeff. A short time later, he finds himself in a massive battle alongside X-Force, fighting against a group of pirates that Beast believes are going to start attacking Krakoa's shipping lines at any moment. It's Deadpool and Wolverine that stalk forward to the pirate ship, preparing to hit it with a grenade, but Wolverine is suddenly stopped as he hears Beast's words. Though the pirates haven't actually done anything yet, we'll end the problem before it becomes a problem. Logan looks up, ordering the Shadow Room to shut down. Are you kidding me? Logan asks, pulling off his mask and turning to the control room. You want to send in a hit squad? These poor bastards haven't even done anything yet? Beast shrugs. It'd be best to pull the weeds before they've taken over our garden. But Logan refuses, heading for the exit, telling Beast not to come looking for him. Don't you walk away from me! Beast shouts after him. A short time later, Logan is now helping Jeff again, who thinks that he's got a lock on the whereabouts of the Legacy House. The pair slip quietly through the shadows, breaking into the Smithsonian Castle inside of Washington, D.C. Moving forward, they find a secret entrance to the basement. Most museums only display 5% of their collection. That leaves a lot of wiggle room for black market sales, Jeff whispers as they head downstairs. It's there that they find a round audience chamber and Wolverine pauses, sniffing the air. We ain't alone, he growls, and a gun is already pushed against Jeff's head. You move, he dies, the merchant says with a vicious smile. He motions behind Wolverine and the two guards step forward to place adamantium cuffs on Logan's hands and his feet. Those cuffs might feel familiar. Harvested them from the Weapon X facility. With Logan chained, the merchant turns to the villainous elite as they file into the chamber. All right then, let's get this rodeo going. He asks everyone to take their seats and he lowers the gun, offering everyone at the auction a deal of a lifetime. Pieces of the one and only Wolverine. He fires a round of his pistol into Wolverine's shoulder, bringing a grunt of pain, dropping the mutant. The merchant steps forward with a knife, cutting the round from Logan's shoulder. There you go, a bullet dug out of Wolverine's body. How about we start the bidding at $10,000? Time passes and the merchant continues to cut pieces off of Logan's body, offering them to the highest bidders. Jeff can do nothing but watch, a gun pressed against his head, until finally someone stands in the crowd. I would like to propose a bid, Beast says, and everyone turns a little bit surprised. How much would it cost to be the one who killed Wolverine? Beast asks as he raises his paddle, disguised in a suit and with an eye patch. Later at the hatchery in Krakoa, Wolverine awakens within his golden egg, his claws popping as he cuts his way free. The immortal life of an X-Men, allowing him to be reborn after his death. He finds Hope and Tempest waiting for him. Keep your distance, he's always extremely cranky when he wakes up from resurrection, Hope says, and Logan staggers towards them both, his claws popping as he suddenly leaps at them with a roar. Tempest uses her powers to freeze Logan in time. I'll take it from here, the voice calls out, and the two women turn to find Beast walking into the hatchery, holding a strange collar. Thank you so much for your assistance, as always, he tells them as he puts the collar around Logan's neck. Anger immediately leaving Logan's eyes and his claws slide back in, and Beast smiles, leading Logan out of the hatchery. This way, Wolverine! Let's leave these good mutants to their good work. Both Hope and Tempest are confused, but they don't question Beast. Thus, it begins. Logan is now more docile, more susceptible to suggestion, taking orders and missions from Beast without question. A Pan-Asian strike unit was massacred in their briefing room. An anti-mutant member of the parliament was quietly murdered in his bed. A reporter who writes anti-mutant think pieces left headless at his desk. Weeks pass, and Domino arrives at the Green Lagoon, finding Sage already starting to get into her cups at the bar. Domino puts a hand on the woman's shoulder, startling her. Sorry, I don't mean to spook you. I wanted to make sure I caught you before you got too tired to talk, Domino says, looking at all of the empty glasses, and Domino points out that the team really needs Wolverine's backup on their latest missions. Sage nods, gulping down the last of the booze in her glass. Wolverine's a busy guy. In demand. Everyone wants Wolverine, Sage slurs before motioning for Blob to get her a refill. Sage is the individual who assigns the mutants to missions, but Domino thinks that Wolverine is acting differently. When she last saw him, he practically ignored her. The job takes a toll, and Beast's been burning the midnight oil. They're working on something, Sage says before slumping down at the bar. Domino sighs, helping her friend to her feet. More death, more murder, missions, targets. Days later, Beast walks through the jungles of Krakoa, bringing the big game that he is carrying into a dark cave. He throws it down onto the ground, looking into the shadows. Come out! It's okay. Logan steps out of the shadows, little more than an animal at this point, using his claws to slice open the animal and dig in for his dinner. Good, good, Beast whispers. You see, back at the auction, Beast had won. He stepped forward and prepared to get his prize. Reaching into his suit, he pulled out a tablet and made sure that the money transferred into the merchant's account. Here is your money. Now I'll take my prize, he says, and the merchant hands Beast his knife and steps away. Logan looked up through the blood already pouring down his face at Beast. Eye patch. Tux, you're ripping off my disguise, Wolverine whispers, and Beast smiles, lowering the knife to Wolverine's head. Enough theater, bub. Cut me free. Let's kill these freaks. Logan growls, but Beast shakes his head. That's just one course of action I have considered, but I'm afraid it's the wrong move. I'm going to have to hurt you, if you can even still be hurt, Beast says, plunging the knife into Wolverine's stomach, and he stepped back as Logan glared at him. I can bleed all day. It's betrayal that hurts deep. He growls, and Beast steps up behind Logan, putting the knife against his throat. He knows that Logan has begun to question their work on Krakoa. He knows that Logan doesn't trust what Beast has X-Force doing. And he knows that he can't have that. I can't lose you. You're too valuable, Logan. You're the blade with which I do my cutting. Beast explains, and the metal begins to pierce Logan's skin. You had better make sure I don't remember this, or I'm gonna make you fluent in pain. Logan growls and blood splatters as Beast finished the job. Now, Beast is standing around the X-Force conference table. All right, let's get this meeting to order. The first item on the agenda is the future of X-Force. He explains that they need to take a more proactive role in mutant defense, and Domino raises their hand, asking why Logan isn't joining them again. I've spoken to him. He agrees wholeheartedly, Beast says, adjusting his glasses. He then stands, motioning to Black Tom. X-Force will no longer be hidden away, operating in the shadows, and on that note, Black Tom, Black Tom nods, using his powers to transform the X-Force base, making it into a massive skull on the island with water pouring out of its mouth and eyes. All of Krakoa, all of the world, will know exactly where we are. But back at the auction, Beast was holding Logan's severed head and held it in his hands. The merchant steps forward, motioning for his men to take body. "Get the clientele who'd love to get a piece of Wolverine," he says, but Beast shakes his head. "I'm afraid that's not possible," Beast says, and the merchant insists, raising his pistol as Beast whirls around, knocking the weapon away. "Humans, you're all so miserably predictable." Beast snaps, quickly moving through the guards, killing them all, and then he whirls on Jeff Bannister, grabbing the CIA agent by the hair. "And you! What am I going to do about you?" Beast yells as he pulls the man close. But back in the current day, Beast headed to his small cabin on Krakoa. He stepped inside and unlocked his secret vault. "You know, I'm really sorry how things turned out, but it's for the best. Know that everything is going according to plan. And you're doing excellent work. Not that that's surprising in the least. You're our very best weapon after all," Beast says quietly at the shiny skull of Logan that he keeps locked away. Logan breathes deeply, waiting in the darkness, waiting for Beast to bring him an animal that he can tear into, rip apart with his claws, feasting on its raw flesh. When that's done, he sleeps. But he is little more than an animal at this point, just waiting for Beast. Beast enters. "Come on, let's go. You want to come outside and play, don't you?" Logan pauses for a moment before heading for the entrance of the cave, sniffing the air. "That's a good boy. A very good boy," Beast whispers softly, dressing Logan in his X-Force uniform. He then takes him to the outside of DC. "Here we go. This is General NORAD," Beast says as he shows Logan a picture on his tablet, informing Logan that he needs to sneak into the house and kill the general, but he can't be seen by the cameras. When Beast looks up, Logan has already left. Beast looks to the house, cursing, as Berserker Logan attacks without hesitation, smashing through the guards quickly, ignoring the cameras altogether. General NORAD hears the disturbance in his house, grabbing his pistol, and he moves to his bedroom door, pushing his ear against it, listening for his attackers. But Wolverine's claws rip through the wood, stabbing him in the head. Back in the cave, Beast is punishing Logan for what he did. He shows him the news footage of Logan killing the general and his guards. "Do you realize what you've done?" Beast snaps at him, sending another burst of electricity into Logan. "Now this image is headlining every news outlet in the world. We're in the middle of a diplomatic crisis because of you." Beast shows as Logan roars in pain, turning away in disgust. And Beast leaves Logan in the cave, energy still coursing through his body. "Enjoy some time alone while I clean up your mess." Beast snaps over his shoulder. Eventually the energy stops and Logan is able to curl up into a ball. But he's unaware of Krakoa watching him. A strange light appears in the wall and Logan moves towards it. Looking through it, he's granted a view of Beast talking to Sage. "You're telling me that that's not Wolverine?" Sage asks, and Beast nods, explaining that someone must be trying to frame the mutants of Krakoa. "Where is Logan then?" Sage asks. "He's busy. We've been awfully busy," Beast tells her, explaining that he can't tell her the nature of the missions. Sage gets out of her chair, telling Beast that if he doesn't answer the US's questions, then Krakoa is practically declaring war on the United States. "And I'm not going to let that happen," Sage snaps. Logan turns away from the strange hole in the wall to find another entrance has appeared. He steps through it and begins to walk through the jungles of Krakoa at night. When the daylight appears, he sits quietly on the rocks looking out over the ocean. There's a noise below him. He looks down to see a young mutant trying to save herself from falling over the waterfall while her friends are watching. He leaps down, saving the young mutant, throwing her back to land, and then growls at the other kids, words refusing to reach his mind. They all run in fear as Berserker Logan steps out of the water. He watches them go. He knows that he is no good. He knows that he doesn't belong to her. His claws slip in with a schnick, and he slashes himself, allowing his own blood to drip onto the Krakoan soil. The island of Krakoa watches from a nearby tree, vines beginning to spring out of the ground to pull Logan within the island, pulling him down into the darkness where he belongs. Images flash through his mind as the vines pull him tight. All the while, Krakoa is watching silently. Memories are flashing before Logan's eyes. Wealthy hunters shooting him in the Canadian wilderness, being strapped to a table in the Weapon X facility. Pain, anger. He pops his claws, ripping his way out of the cocoon that held him beneath the soil of Krakoa. The vines lash out, trying to hold him back as he attempts to escape. He doesn't know how long he's been down there, how long he's been seeing the pain of his past, and he tries to cut his way free. But the vines overwhelm him, cocooning him once again. Back on the surface, Maddie steps through one of the portals with the aid of Deadpool's finger. "Just like Mr. Logan said it would," Maddie whispers in awe as she looks at the finger. Meanwhile, Logan is screaming, his claws slashing as he feels Lady Deathstrike stab through his head. The vines continue to push through the inside of him, clawing into his eyes, mouth, and ears. He relives every pain that he has ever felt, every death that has claimed him. But the pain is bringing him back to the man that he is supposed to be, not the animal that Beast has made him. New memories appear. The memories of Beast killing him, taking control of his mind when he was brought back. Pain in the cave. Logan remembers. Krakoa steps forward, reaching out and taking Logan's body. It holds up the body and begins to pull the collar from around his neck. Logan wakes up, biting at Krakoa's fingers. He doesn't know if it's actually Krakoa or a cancerous version that is feeding off of his pain. The vines reach for him again, but he looks up, and Krakoa has transformed into a version of Sabretooth. Wolverine pops his claws at the effigy of Victor Creed as it steps forward. He doesn't know how, but he knows that Creed has imprinted himself upon the pit. At the surface, Sage is working at her computers when she gets a tap on the shoulder by the young, tentacled mutant that Logan saved. "You're not supposed to be here," Sage says as she turns, and the young girl shrugs. "But X-Force was supposed to protect us. And this is an emergency," she says as she motions to Maddie. Back at the pit, Logan is fighting against the effigy of Sabretooth, trading blows back and forth. The monster grabs him from behind, slashing at Logan's neck, and it finally cuts through the collar, freeing Logan completely of his animalistic nature. He whirls around, slashing at the monster before trying to crawl out of the walls of the pit, freeing himself. The monster pulls him back down, slamming him. He struggles to get to his feet, finding the remains of the collar close by, and he grabs a hold of the device, whirling around, putting it on the neck of Creed. That monster howls in pain before falling to the ground, defeated. A short time later, Logan's claws burst through the surface of Krakoa, and he finally frees himself. He collapses to the ground, taking a massive gulp of air. "There he is," Sage says as she rushes over with Maddie, explaining that they used Black Tom to find his location. Logan shakes his head, getting to his feet. "Help me out. The cobwebs are clearing, but my head's not completely right." Maddie nods and looks at Logan with determination. "You saved me once. Now can you save my dad? From the Blue Man?" Logan steps into the ocean, washing off the memories and stench of the past few weeks. He can still see what Beast did to him as he splashes the cold water onto his body, and he turns as Sage calls to him. She stands on the beach with one of his uniforms. "Can't just kill him, can I, Sage?" She shakes her head. "No, you cannot. There's too much at stake. His fate belongs to the Quiet Council," she explains, telling him that he'll need to keep his berserker in check and be more calculating, because that's how Beast operates. She tells him that they need to build a case on his crimes. "Let's get to work," Logan growls as he pulls on his mask. Meanwhile, Black Tom is keeping Maddie company and protecting her. The two are getting along, and Maddie suddenly slaps a bug bite on her neck. She suddenly begins to gasp for breath, falling to the ground as Black Tom grabs her. "No, not on Black Tom's watch," he shouts. Later, Wolverine joins them in the Healing Gardens, where Dr. Reyes is making sure that Maddie is stable. She reveals that Maddie was poisoned by an insect, but the poison is not made by nature. "Beast is to blame for this, I know it! He's trying to cover his tracks. Where is he, Sage? Right now, where the freak is Beast?" Wolverine growls as he looks down at the young girl. But Sage can't find a log of Beast leaving the island, and Black Tom can't locate him. Wolverine finally nods, turning away, the hunt beginning. They start at Jeff Bannister's house, where Maddie said that her father was in trouble from Beast. But Logan and Sage find an empty house, and in the backyard, Logan finds the remains of the gate that he had given Jeff and his daughter. He looks down at the withered plant. It occurs to me, Jeff is a spook. Spies are trained to play all sides. He's the one that led me to the auction. He's the one who stood by while Beast carved me up. And I didn't just give myself an open door to the States with this gate. I gave him an open door to Krakoa. So they begin to hunt for Bannister until they manage to locate a CIA shadow office in Baltimore. Sage and Wolverine wait at the building across the street. We got movement at the entrance. Logan whispers as someone comes walking out and Sage zooms in her binos. We just got here. Let's not interrogate the first person that we see. But Logan ignores her, leaping down to the streets below. I'm feeling impatient. He lands amongst the parked cars, rushing forward, grabbing the scared man. Where is Jeff Bannister? He snarls, grabbing the man's suit, slamming him into the nearby car. In kind of a rush here, bub, Logan says to him, and the man screams in fear, finally telling Logan that Jeff has been stationed in Langley. Doing what? The man shakes his head, stating that he doesn't know, and Logan holds up his hand, demonstrating his claws coming out and going in. Did you see? You know what's coming next if you don't tell me what Jeff Bannister's doing in Langley. It's later that Jeff is walking out of his car in the parking lot, and as he pulls away, Logan sits up in the back seat, looking at Jeff in the mirror. Starting to get the feeling you're trying to avoid me, Logan growls. Jeff jumps with shock, but pulls his pistol, firing 3 times into Logan's chest. The car screeches to a stop, and Jeff jumps out. Stay away from me! He shouts as he turns to fire again, but Sage is there, grabbing the gun and elbowing the man in the face, knocking him to the ground. No, please, you have to get away from me. You have to. He'll kill her! Logan shakes his head as he walks up, crouching down. We're looking after her. Beast is going down. He helps Jeff to his feet, demanding to know what the spy knows about Beast. Jeff explains that Beast threatened his daughter, so now he's a double agent for the head of X-Force. I'm sorry, man. But gunfire suddenly erupts in the forest next to the road, rounds slamming into Jeff's chest, knocking him down. Don't let him die! Logan shouts to Sage as he rushes into the woodline, reaching the sniper's spot just in time to see Beast running away. Beast! It's over! Logan shouts, running after him. And Beast stops, turning back to his friend. You always have something to say, so say it! Quote a philosopher. Spit out your intellectual argument. Justify away. Say it! And Beast shakes his head. I have nothing to say. Logan pauses for a moment before nodding, rushing forward, stabbing upward through Beast's chest, letting his old friend fall to the ground in a pool of his own blood. Will I do? But at this point, in Krakoa, a secret room begins to light up. Beast's clone tank bubbles as he is freed. Angered, he steps out of the golden liquid. I knew this time would come. Now it is here, and everything is about to change. And that concludes the Wolverine is a Slave chapter of the Dark Beast saga. Now, I'm aware this isn't true Dark Beast. Dark Beast is a character from Age of Apocalypse, I think, or it really doesn't matter. This isn't the true Dark Beast, but I'm calling it Dark Beast because holy crap did he go evil. But what do you guys think of this down below? Make sure you like and subscribe because I'm going to be bringing you the next part of this within a day or two. We're going to go to the actual battle between Wolverine and Dark Beast, so I want to know what you guys think about it. I just had to cut it off here because the video is already getting super long. Don't forget, like, subscribe, join us on YouTube memberships for early access, and I will see you next time right here at Comicstorian.